Hey LinkedIn, how you doing? So today I wanted to have a bit of a talk about how you can ensure that your emails get opened. So the best way you can ensure your emails are getting opened is by making sure that you've got the right email title in there. And so there's two email titles that two categories of email titles that we tend to use. And I was going to tell you about them. So the first one that we use is a thing called a promise title. And so I know exactly what I'm going to get when I open up an email that has a promise title, right? It says it right there. The second type of email title that we tend to use is what we call an intrigue email title. And so this is where, I'm intrigued to open it because I don't know what's in there. So two categories. First is promise, the second is intrigue. And then there's a couple of subcategories within each of those. So if we're thinking about that promise category, within it, the first idea that we can do is just something that's simple and direct. So it might be, here is your report on X, Y, Z. So that simple, direct, it tells you exactly what they're going to get when they open that email. That can work really well. Like, free download, the person's guide to X. Yeah. So that would be a promise headline. Also then, number two within promise is numbers and lists. So when you're putting together like a number, 7 ways to do this, 4 ways to do that, whatever it might be, weirdly odd numbers work better than even. There you go. So putting together lists of things or numbers is a great way that you can build out a promise headline. And then the third is scarcity. So within a promise headline, a scarcity is, an example of this might be, only 2 hours left before X, Y, Z, or only 4 of these left. So those scarcity type of headlines, they work well as a promise headline. They're usually done in the later part of an email nurture sequence. It's not the first one that you send. So that's promise headlines. You either go the direct, you go numbers and list, or you go scarcity. Alternatively, what you can try, and often when we do split tests, we might test a promise and an intrigue and see what works better for a given audience. So intrigue ones, again, there's 3 there. So you can do an email title that's funny. I'm not going to make up one on the spot because guaranteed it's not going to be funny, but you can go for humor as email number 1 if you're doing an intrigue one. The second is you can go for controversy. So if you've got something that's a little bit controversial as a statement where people are driven to go in there and find out what you've got to say. And then the third, and probably the most effective and our favorite of the different intrigue headlines, is a question. So that's actually asking people a question in the email subject. And if the answer for me is yes, then I tend to open it up. Like struggling with this, question mark, or have this challenge, question mark. So those particular question ones work really well. So that's it. I wanted to share those with you. So to ensure that your emails are getting opened, what you want to do is have a really good headline on there. There's usually a promise headline or there's an intrigue headline. And then within promise, you can either go direct, you can go numbers and lists, or you can go scarcity. And then for intrigue emails, you can go funny, you can go controversial, or you can go for a question. I hope that you find that useful. If you want to ask any questions, let me know. Or even if you want to run an email title past me, let me know in the comments below. Cheers. Thank you.